The show commences, and we see that Ichigo is now back and wants to head to the Soul Society, but Ichibi stops him saying that he is not ready to defeat Yhwach. This is shocking to Ichigo. The scene shifts, and that in Hueco Mando, Yhwach tells his soldiers that their time has come to overcome all they have suffered in the past 1,000 years. He explains that after 1,000 years of perilous waiting, they will annihilate the Soul Reapers. He adds that other than the call for battle, he has another matter to discuss. Just then, Uryu enters the stage, and Yhwach tells everyone that he is the last surviving member of the Quincy race in the real world, and he will be the successor after him. Everyone is shocked to hear this, especially two stern Ritters. One of them even kills her own errand boy to let out the frustration. On the other side, the others discuss why His Majesty chose Uryu. Baz B is angry and confronts Jugo and tells him that if it was him, he would not have said anything but that random Quincy be the successor. This does not add up. Jugo tells him that Majesty's words are final, so Baz B says since everyone is going mad, why should Juga be the right-hand man? He should also give up his seat if he loses to him. They are about to duel when Nak Alvar stops them. He stops them saying that fighting will be in vain. Meanwhile, Uryu swears his oath to Yhwach. Back at the palace, Ichibi tells Ichigo that he needs to hone his inner skills, not only his Zanpakuto. A shrine area appears that seems like a short path, but Ichigo needs to slowly walk through it so that he can evolve into the perfect Soul Reaper. The others back at Soul Society await the hour and get ready for the battle as Renji and Rukia are still training. They get a call that Rukia's brother has finally healed up as well. Ichibi enters and is happy with their progress, since they were not able to even stand here when they came. Back at Karakura Town, Ichigo's friends talk how they have not seen Orihime or Ichigo in a while. Just then, Squad 1 captain enters, and he tells them that since they are nearing the battle, Ichigo may never return since he will be becoming something that can upset the balance of the living world, and that he will not be able to come back. His friends are pissed, and asks why he is saying all this. Some say that this is a maybe question, but he tells them still the fact is, it is likely he will not return. So he hands them Soul Society passes so that they can visit him one last time if the worst comes. As everyone is set for battle just then, the Stern Ritters attack, and they teleport all of them inside the dome in order to defeat them all at once. The Stern Ritters get ready. Jugo discusses with the other Stern Ritters that they need to kill all the captains who still have their Bankai. The others argue that normal subordinates will be enough to kill them, but Jugo says that Majesty know they will put up a fight even without their Bankai, so they must strike them down to where it hurts and make sure they are completely annihilated. The squad captains get ready, and Squad 1 captain laughs as he thought that they would have home field advantage. We switch to Yhwach, who explains that it was his plan to replace the Seratai with the Vandenreich so that they could use the Raishi from the Soul Society to be more dangerous. The tech department can't seem to understand how the enemy infiltrated them. Just then, Jugo enters the Squad 1 barracks and mentions that they didn't invade as they were already there lurking in the shadows. Shunsui tells that he is the head captain now and he will oversee all this. Jugo tells them that Majesty wanted to end the enemy in an instant so that peace can be kept. On the other hand, in the lab, Captain Mayuri enters and tells them that he already knew that the Quincies were lurking in the shadows, and he foolproofed his lab to make sure that they could not enter. This shocks the enemy as well. The battle commences, and the Soul Reapers are slowly annihilated by Baz B. Just then, Toshiro and Rangiku enter to save their fellow Reapers. Baz B laughs at how Toshiro was the brat who got his Bankai stolen. One by one, all the Soul Reapers are paired with Quincies, and the battle commences. Toshiro uses his Shikai along with Rangikus, and they both fend off Baz B's flame with ease. They are able to trap Baz B for a while. Meanwhile, at the Squad 1 barracks, Shunsui is protected by Nanao's force field, which was meant to keep Quincies away. Somewhere else, Machiro is being bamboozled with bullets as he tries to protect his younger sister when Captain Soifan enters and attracts his attention to herself, as he could not predict her motion at all and gets pummeled. As they think that they are on the winning side, the Stern Ritters start off their offensive. Baz B easily destroys the fall with his burner finger, and on the other hand, Soifan gets pummeled with barrage of attacks as well. Jugo and Shunsui notice the battle, and Jugo says that they should have perfected the anti-Quincy field, rather than strive to get stronger. Just then, Baz B suggests to kill Toshiro, but Kang-do enters and explains that Majesty gave them permission that the ones who took their Bankai can kill them. Over at the tech department, Urahara finally is able to connect through while Ichigo is still making his way down the temple path. As the Soul Reapers try to fend off the attacks and don't seem to get away, all the others are in dire need of some assist. Kangdu had already subdued Rangaku and was ready to kill Toshiro with his own Bankai. Just then, Uraha tells them that he has come up with the method to reclaim their Bankai from the enemies. He explains that he can reclaim them, but Mayuri tries to ignore him and cuts the call, but to his surprise, Urahara enters from the back door, leaving him shocked. The Soul Society then launch a counterattack, and Urahara asks them to spread this bead, which after being absorbed will make them get their Bankai back. He explains that he got this idea in Hukomondo when he saw how the Quincies manifested Rashi using their resurrection similar to an Arankar. They all get beads, and Toshiro along with others touch it, and slowly are able to get their Bankai back, as their Banaki is a poison for all Quincies as well. Captain Sofan also gets her Banaki back and attacks the Stern Ritter with her Banaki, causing a huge blast. Even Toshri is easily able to fend of Kangdu, and using hollowified Bankai, he quickly subdues Kangdu with ease, sealing him in a block of ice, but he soon falls unconscious as well. Meanwhile, Shinji is surrounded by enemies and thinks it's fit for his Banaki, as his broken Bankai allows everyone to kill each other in a one-for-all, but since he was surrounded by all enemies, they end up killing themselves. The other vice captains are attacked by a superstar Stern Ritter known who easily fends of all of them. Just then, Bambietta gets mad at her friends strolling of and creates a huge crater. Captain Sajin enters with his face covered, but he pays no attention to Bambietta. Shinji attracts her attention as he uses his Shikai to mess with her senses. Just as it looks that all Stern Ritters are about to lose, Yawatch laughs as all the Quincies activate their Volstern ditch as before they could not due to the Bankai. During all this, Ichigo is still going through temple as it's becoming harder than ever. As the Stern Ritter launch their counter, Shinji is struck down, and as soon as Bambietta delivers the final blow, Captain Soifan enters and saves them. Bambietta laughs and says that it's time to unmask the doggy as her attacks will wash away, even flash off bones and attacks him, but to her surprise, Captain Sojin had transformed into a human. We learn that the Wolf Clan had made a bond to ascend to the higher level by using the Jinka technique, by offering up their heart and accepting their death. Sojin launches his Bankai, but this time it's different as its armor is stripped away, and a demonic figure appears and attacks Bambietta. She attacks his Bankai, but it easily regenerates. Sajin tells her that now it is unbeatable since his Bankai is already being controlled by a dead man. He tells her that he won't die even being bombarded by attacks. Sajin attacks Bambietta, and she is struck down by her own bombs, but as Sajin steps forward, he slowly loses his strength. He tries to strive forward towards Yawatch, but slowly gets turned into a wolf, as his intent was wrong due to revenge. Sajin becomes a wolf and learns that this was the price he had to pay for that immense power. Meanwhile, Kung Duo, who seems to be losing, is abducted by Uryu along with BG9. Bambietta, on the other hand, cannot understand that she was easily defeated out of her and the other girls. Just then, the other girls approach and they loom over her and say that they will help, which makes Bambietta feel scared for some reason. Over the squad 1 barracks, Jugo break the barrier due to absorbing Rashi from the corners, but Nanao knew that and had made another barrier 10 times as strong while they waited. Jugo then decides to get serious, but as he is about to use some force to strike, he turns away saying that His Majesty needs him, and so he needs to return. The other vice captain are waiting after defeating Mask Demasculine, or so they thought as the tiny caretaker named James calls out, and just then Mask Demasculine stands up again stronger than before and completely demolishes the 3 vice captains. Mask D. Masculine is glad that he could easily take down his captain-level advisories and decides to move towards the 2 lights that just landed, but one of the vice captains tries to stop him with his chains but is knocked out again. Mask is about to step on him when Captain Quincy steps in, saving his pupil. Mask wants to end him, but the other captain steps in as well. This makes Mask happy and stands all grand ready for them to take him on. Quincy tells him that they won't take too much of his time. Meanwhile, back at the royal palace, Ichigo seems to near his goal and is almost there, but no matter how close he gets, he still falls far. Ichibei tells him that the pressure he feels is of all the things he wishes to protect. At this moment, Ichigo feels power consuming him. Ichibe narrates that he is becoming a vessel, and in order to withstand that power of the king, he needs to bear the burdens and strength. Ichigo feels as if he will explode, but manages to contain it, making Ichibe happy. Ichigo finally crosses the shrine and meets the Squad Zero's Shutara, who was waiting for him. What has become of Ichigo? What vessel is he supposed to become? Will he be able to defeat Yawatch and protect those he cares about? Find out in the next recap episode.